travelers and tourists. My name is Mark, and I am the local disaster tour guide. And welcome back to my Storyteller's Let's Play of Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. Wrath of the Righteous is a CRPG that is based off Pathfinder First Edition. It's based off of an adventure path that Paizo made for 1E that was centered around mythic characters, and Owlcat Games, who made Pathfinder Kingmaker, ended up creating this game as well. And I was always interested in trying out Wrath of the Righteous back when it was an AP, and I never got to, so I was super excited when Owlcat announced that they were going to be doing this as one of their games. So this is my second video following along the character Grymstone that I have made for this adventure. A quick word of warning to anyone who is watching these videos. There will be spoilers because we are actively playing this game, and I am looking at this game through the lens of a storyteller. I have played a little bit in this game just to test out a few different character builds before I settled on exactly what I wanted to do with Grymstone, so I've gotten a little bit of the story underneath my belt, but not very much. I'm actually hoping to get up to the point where I deliberately paused in today's video. But as we're going, I'm going to be reacting to the story. I'm going to be looking at how they tell the story and talking about the things I like, the things that I don't like, and just seeing if there are any lessons that we can learn as storytellers for tabletop RPGs. So with all of that in mind, let's go ahead and load up Grymstone and get back to this adventure. So last time that we were playing, Grymstone's backstory is that he was exiled from his dwarven community for assaulting a corrupt priest. He is good-hearted but hot-headed, and though he meant well, he ultimately just was not a good fit for his community. He took some training under a priest of Kaiden Kalen, and ultimately began walking the path of a slayer. We're using the deliverer archetype, so he kind of sees himself as divine wrath against the evildoers of the world. How accurate that is, who knows? We'll see as the story unfolds. By the way, if you want to spend a lot of time laughing and or screaming at the screen today, let's see how many times I can forget to use his core ability, Studied Target. This is basically the main ability of the Slayer class, and in my practice playthroughs I kept forgetting to use this, so I fully expect to probably forget it multiple times. But where the story left off, we arrived outside the city of Kenabras, where we were attacked by some demons. We took a mysterious wound from a mysterious weapon, got some healing from a silver dragon named Turindalev. I really thought she was going to be the person who would start us on our mythic quest, but then the demon lord Discari attacked the fair in the city, and next thing you know, we're taking pot shots at him and getting knocked into some caves down below the city. So that's where we are, that's what we've been doing, and let's get to adventuring.
Oh, holy mother! Hey, stay with me. You actually got pretty lucky. You fell down into a black hole. But at least you're not on your own. You've got a great companion. Everything's going to be just fine. Tell me something. Can you feel your legs?
Okay, so we're getting ready to meet one of our first companions on this adventure, and that is Sila the Paladin. If you have seen Nonat's response to this game, he was very dramatic in his response that he did not want a paladin in his party, and the first companion that you get is a paladin. I will say this, though, from Pathfinder First Edition, Sila was actually my favorite iconic in that system. I liked her story. I liked the way they presented her. She is one of the few examples of lawful good done really well. I don't want to go into what her story was in Pathfinder 1E because I don't know how much of it they kept for this game. But I am curious to see how much they integrated because one of the aspects of her character, if you see, her hairstyle is actually important to her backstory, and she's kept that hairstyle in the artwork, so I suspect that they're probably going to work some of that backstory in. But anyways, I like Sila. She's one of my favorites from Pathfinder First Edition. I'm excited to see what they do with her. Sorry, Nonat, if you're watching this. I know you're not a fan of Paladins, but I am actually very excited that this character is part of this game. So anyways, Sila, and we've got another lady who is stuck beneath some rocks.
I feel them all right. When say no to a little less feeling in them. My ankle's killing me, but my back seems to still be in one piece. My head, too. That's all that matters. Now, we're going to... Hey! Fancy meeting you down here. You're the one that Terendelev healed today, right? You aren't injured, are you? Will you help me get her out from under the boulders?
Okay, so one of the things that they do, that Owlcat does in these games, is in conversations you will occasionally have choices where, like, I can ask why should we help her, or I can attempt skill checks associated with other phrases, and if you do the skill check option, you actually have to roll to see whether or not you succeed. And for Grymstone, he is a very straightforward, attack the problem head-on kind of character, so we're going to go with the athletics. Hold on, we're going to get you out from under there.
Damn it all. I think it's broken. Oh well, I've had worse. I'll just make myself a splint out of something. Thanks for the help. I wouldn't have lasted long on my own stuck under there. I'm Inevia Tirabade, of the Eagle Watch. I was overseeing security at the festival square. I thought maybe spies or demon worshippers might have something nasty planned. What actually happened, though, now that I did not see coming. I don't think anyone could have been prepared for that. Well, I'm Sila, Paladin by the grace of Iomade. I crossed the whole continent to come to Mendev and fight demons. And well, I've been fighting for a while now. I don't even want to think what might be happening up there in the city. Kenabras has lost the protection of Terendelev, and of the Wardstone too, looks like. It's a relic without equal. It was placed here personally by Iomade's herald, with the goddess's blessing. I really wanted to go see it, to pray before it. But there's no point worrying about a stone when there are people dying in the streets. Yeah, things are looking grim enough, but don't lose heart. Wardstone or no, dragon or no, Kenabras will never give in. Simple as. Well, we've introduced ourselves. What about you?
So here again, we get to do a little bit of backstory for our character, and kind of like the similar choice in last week's video, Grymstone wants to help people, and he came north to help fight against the World Wound, so I came here to fight the Abyss.
A fellow Crusader! Welcome, brother. This is great. I would have been happy to have any companion in this, but it's nice to be stuck down here with somebody who's my kind of crazy. It's a good thing you've still got your faith, because right now, to be totally honest, faith's probably the only thing we do have. Now then, I'll hobble my way out of here somehow. The city ain't far, only 30 paces or so. That's if you're going straight up, of course. I'm afraid we're gonna have to go the long way round. To summarize, there are 3 of us with 5 working legs, 3 pairs of decent hands, 2 clear heads, and 1 made of wood. That's mine. Underground monsters beware! Inevia, you stay behind us. You're in no fit state to fight. If we do come up against anything, the 2 of us will try to manage on our own first. Well, onward! May the good deities lead us back to the open sky soon.
Okay, so real quick, I want to talk about why I like Sila's personification in this story. I know Nonat responded pretty rough to her, but one of the reasons I really like the way Sila is used is she is a very humble character. You know, she uses phrases like "my kind of crazy" and "my head's made of wood." You know, even though she's this very noble and strong paladin, she doesn't see herself as better than others. And I like that about how Sila is written in a lot of Paizo's products. Often lawful good characters are very arrogant, and so it's very refreshing for me to see a more humble, more personable take on lawful good. And so it's one of the things I really like about Sila. But anyways, just kind of wanted to point that out. Okay, so you will notice down here that Sila has been added to our party, and Anevia is just kind of walking behind us. I don't know what that means, though I feel it's almost certainly ominous. I have more hit points than Sila, but she is the tank, so we're going to put her up front. And you can see here that she is a lawful good and paladin, and she's got a 22 AC relative to my 17. So basically, she's a tank. That's what she does. And so we're going to put her up front and let her take the brunt of things. And we're going to put ourselves in triangle formation. Not that it matters super much yet, but let's get going. And here's the convenient, here's all the loot you dropped earlier chest. So now I get to equip some stuff for my character. I do think it's interesting that they allow you to start with a couple of magical items at the very start of this game. I think it's kind of I think it indicates kind of the power level of the situation that you're in. And what do I... we'll just go with a regular old longsword for now. So, all right.
I appreciate privacy.
All right.
Move aside.
Now, one of the things you can find down here is some scales of Terindalev, and basically it looks like it's a raise dead option. So they do drop some, in case you lose your character, items early in the game, and that's pretty helpful.
Who's there? Relax, friend. We're not demons or cultists. Don't poke my eye out with that thing, all right? We fell down here during the attack. I'm Sila, that's Anevia, and this is our new friend. We're looking for a way back to the surface.
Really? I'm so ever glad to hear it. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Camellia. I was also in the square when... I can scarcely believe it. How did all those demons get into the city? I thought, naively it now seems, that the Wardstone protected us from attack. And Terendalev, I can't wrap my head around it.
Not many could withstand a strike from a demon lord. Not even Terindalev, and not even if she looked like she was going to be a major NPC.
I can't argue with that. We're fortunate to be alive, albeit underground.
Daskari himself has come to Kenabras. There's no mistaking that ugly mug. Terendalev tried to fight him, but what could she do against a near deity? Even the Wardstone was no help. Our city used to be protected by powerful forces, but now...
We've seen how powerless they truly are. Henceforth, we shall have no one but ourselves to rely on, I suppose.
So, I'm curious about this poor man, this body that she's
I
beside.
don't know. He must have been in the square when disaster struck. I tried to revive him, but he was already dead, sadly.
He didn't get these wounds from the fall. Be on your guard. Whatever killed him likely hasn't gone far. Hang on. I think I know him. His name's Aravashniel, the egghead from the library. He was a good lad, even if he was kind of stuck up. May his soul rest in peace.
Who am I? Just an ordinary citizen who decided to take a stroll through the square on the day of the festival. But that's not what you wish to know, is it? You most likely wish to know whether I'll be a burden should you ask me to join your group. No need to worry about that. I can assure you that I am skilled with the rapier, and I also possess some knowledge of magic.
Honestly, that's not the who am I had. The who am I had is, who are you that you thought you didn't have to find me a healer earlier? I wish they gave me that conversation option.
Certainly. Survivors should stick together. It's only sensible. Who knows what else could be prowling about in these caves? That's right. It would be the height of foolishness to survive a demon attack only to perish under a pile of rubble.
Let's see if this poor bloke has anything useful on him. Not to set.
I heed the voice of the spirit.
Make way.
So, small detail in this game
What's on your mind?
is Camellia, when she joins you, and real quick, she is a spirit shaman hunter. So she's got some weapon enhancements she can use, she has an object bond, and she has some healing magic available to her. And skill-focused trickery, I'm sure she's completely trustworthy. But one of the things that impresses me, sort of, is the fact that she actually joins your party having taken some damage. Um, it's a little bit of a suspension of disbelief that two of your characters were completely uninjured in the fall and the battle and all that. So I do like the fact that she comes injured, but it kind of points out the fact that other people weren't injured when they arrived. Either way, she comes with a healing potion, so you can get her up to full strength rather quickly and rather easily. So, let's see. We'll give him a bow, and that way she can have a crossbow as an option.
Open your heart to me.
Oh. Alright. And something that killed our good friend from the library is nearby. There it is. Alright, so there are two modes of play in this game. One is real-time with pause, and the other is turn-based. So this fight I'll show you real-time with pause, and then after that I'm going to switch over to turn-based, which is a little bit easier in this game. If you're learning this game, it's probably the better way to go. But when fights break out on real-time with pause, it'll pause, give you a chance to put in instructions. So I can tell Sila to fight defensively. I can tell Grymstone to study a target. And I could tell Camilla to use one of her spells. Although in this case, I'm just going to have her shoot at the centipede. So. And one of the things you'll notice there is that because it was real time, the AI of the game took over and started making choices that I hadn't punched in for the second round of combat. But at this point, I am going to switch over to turn-based because it's a little bit easier to control what's going on in the battle. And here we have another scale from Terindolith.
We are the light. They are the darkness.
Alright. So you can see up here that it shows us the turn order. So Sila's going to be up first, and then the fly will go, and then the rest of my characters. So I'm going to move her up here. And then I'm going to pass turn. Alright. Study target. And move. Pass turn. And then Camilla can just take a shot. Got a split path here. And I like how when you first approach this, you can't necessarily see this path unless you're willing to move the map around. So, alright.
Do not speak. Do not waver.
Alright. And we'll go to about right there. Alright, so we're still in battle, which is a little bit of a giveaway that there is another enemy around here somewhere. So let's move Sila forward and see if we can find them. And there they are, back in that corner. But we will go ahead and pause for now.
You are today's sacrifice.
Bracers of armor +1. Don't think I actually found those last time. That's cool. Alright. Seems there's a little bit of variety to the loot in this dungeon. That's nice to know.
The heartbeat quickens. Go for their heart!
I'll split you in half.
I'll cut you wide open.
The light take you.
Let me draw the first blood.
Alright.
I don't like you.
The spirits demand your blood.
Into the fray.
If you have played Pathfinder Kingmaker, you would already be aware of this, but some monsters, you can skin them and claim their hide as scales, or as treasure, anyways. One thing that I do want to mention real quick is I really appreciate the artwork. I think they have some beautiful setting design here.
No, I can't just walk away. It's got to be here somewhere. Winduag!
Lan, did you find it? Who is that?
Okay, so these are the next two characters that can join your party, Lan and Winduag. They are both mongrels. They are
The
descendants
do-gooders here to
of...
save our mongrel souls, no doubt. Wait, they might know what's going on up there.
Mongrels are descendants of the first Crusaders. So, anyways, let's talk to them a little bit.
If things are as bad as you say, then we all have to hurry.
You didn't come from the direction of the shield maze. Damn it. I couldn't care less about what's happening on the surface, but the maze.
I realize that you guys have your own troubles, but we need to be in Kenabras. People are dying up there. Please, show us the way out.
So, next question I'm going to ask is, what is this
This
place?
is the hall where we remember the glory of our forebears. Sorry about the mess. It doesn't usually look like this, trust me. Sometimes we even wipe the dust off the exhibits.
This is where the relics of the first Crusaders are displayed. Our lives are short. Our glories are quickly forgotten. But this place helps us to remember that we are just as worthy as anyone else, and that our lives are not lived in vain.
The first Crusaders? You've been down here that long? That's crazy.
What are you doing here?
That's none of your business.
We're looking for a holy sword. It was here, in the center, sticking out of a rock. The sooner we find it, the better. Some kids from our tribe took off for the shield maze. They figured it had collapsed, and now it's their time to go up to the surface, like all the legends foretold. Except they don't have a clue what's waiting for them up there. They're not fighters. And Saul, the chief of our tribe, is dead set against it. He says that now isn't the time for the underground Crusaders to take up arms. If we get the holy sword, we might be able to change the chief's mind.
It's a fool's errand. None of us will be able to hold the sword, let alone use it to save anyone. It's not an ordinary weapon. It's made from righteous heavenly flame and will burn anyone who touches it. Do you think you're special, Lan?
I'll pick it up with my teeth and tie it to my hand if I have to. It doesn't matter. An angel's sword and a troop of stalwart mongrels will be able to work a minor miracle. Speaking of which, you're still here, Wendu, which means that deep down, you know it's possible.
A sword of holy flame? How did it wind up down here?
It came here with its owner a long time ago. 50,000 gongs to be precise.
70 years ago, in Uplander time.
50,000 gongs ago, our forebears found a dead angel here, along with the bodies of his comrades. The tribe gave them a dignified burial, and they were laid to rest with their weapons. But the flaming angelic sword was stuck in a rock, and no one was able to pull it out. It burned to the touch, like real fire. So the rock was placed over the angel's grave. It should be here somewhere.
Maybe the angel will dig himself out and find the sword for us. That might be our best shot in this chaos.
Lan, watch your tongue.
So, I just want to say that I do agree with Nonat that Lan's voice acting is not very good. I'm not crazy about him. I think Winduag's voice actor is a lot better. But I do like difference in disposition between both of these characters, and let's work together to find that
An
sword.
extra pair of eyes can only help. This sword will be easy enough to spot. It looks swordy. Help us, and in return, we'll get you out of here.
Now we're talking. Let's get to work. It's a good thing we all bumped into each other, isn't it?
What, you want to find the sword quickly so the underground monsters bring you back to the surface? So be it.
So as we move around, we can search for loot. You can also attempt skill checks to identify things.
I managed it.
No, what is that?
I found something.
I'm not touching.
What do we have here?
Follow me.
Now what is
What?
What's that there? I found something.
Day 15, month of Eridus, year 4715. A strange flash pierces the gloom, and Grymstone feels drops of searing blood run down his chest. The wound healed by Terendiliv reopens and weeps scarlet, but there is no pain or weakness. A hazy scene appears, a cave chamber. This one or another one entirely. Grymstone's heartbeat quickens, and a stream of thoughts suddenly bursts into his mind, thoughts that clearly belonged to another. Treachery! They betray me, trapped me, and stabbed me in the back. My trusted allies, my treasured friends, the people I swore to protect, the people for whom I descended from heaven and came to this turbulent mortal world. There they are up ahead in the gloom of the cave. What are they waiting for? Are they afraid to draw any closer? Do they believe I am about to die from their traitorous blows? Next to me, a quiet moan. A girl with a golden braid lies on the rocks, clutching her slashed side. She refused to join with the traitors and paid dearly for it. I could have tried to run, but I will not. Whilst I still have the strength, I must. While recognizing the foreign origin of these thoughts, Grymstone intuits that he can control them somehow. Let's try to. I can attempt to heal the wounded girl, or I can attempt to furiously call out to the traitors. And I enjoy this choice. I actually kind of had a hard time making it. I feel like Grymstone strives to help others. Both of these options are very in keeping with his personality, but I do feel like he would check on the girl first, and so we're going to go with heal the wounded girl. A spark of healing magic illuminates the eerie, murky scene before Grymstone. The wounded girl opens her eyes. Lariel, you said that everything was going to change soon. You said you and the other warriors of heaven would be leaving us on a grand mission to stop the demons forever. Is that true? The frenzy of foreign thoughts comes faster and faster, like a rushing river. And images flash by one after another. A priestess in colorful robes observing the stars. A young female paladin praying, clutching her glowing sword. A majestic golden-winged angel gazing into the distance, his face covered by a helmet but his voice ringing clear. Only if you're willing and only if you're ready. There is no going back. Then don't waste your strength healing me, the girl whispers. Your mission is more important. You, take care. It is near. There in the vision, the darkness in the cave stirs into motion. Something massive appears from within its depths. A vague shadow, an outline, a nightmare come to life. A wave of odious chirruping and rustling emanates from the shadows. The sound piercing like hot irons lancing through flesh and bone. The traitors fall to their knees before the shadow in reverent ecstasy, and the wounded girl thrashes in her death throes. I'm just going to be honest here. I love this writing style. It's a little over the top, but I am eating it up. We have some choices. I can attempt to fight off the illusions. I can attempt to resist the malign influence, or I can do nothing to fight off the illusions, but Grymstone's going to fight, so we're going to go fight off the illusions. And I've got a success. The force of the attack, though originating in a vision, is terrifying, but Grymstone is stronger. He shakes off the pain and torpor, but alas, the one who sent the vision cannot claim the same. He is broken and exhausted. A monstrous shadow emerges from the murk of the cave. It is not real, it exists only in this strange vision or memory. But the thrill of fear it provokes is more than real. The shadow's features starkly resemble those of Discari, the terrifying demon lord. In a movement as swift as thought itself, the monster's hand is wrapped around the throat of the one they call Lariel. The foolish angel struggling on the rocks, like a fly with its wings torn off, intones the shadow. Its voice changes as it moves, shifting from a quiet whispering to a sonorous shout, becoming young then old and quavering. Where is your goddess, angel? Where is her self-assured herald? How is it that you are dying here alone, so far from the light of your heaven? A strange calm envelops the thoughts of the one called Lariel. He recognizes who stands before him, and he knows he will never bow down before this enemy. The flaming sword flares to life in his hand, bright, pure, flickering with multicolored sparks like a sunbeam through stained glass. Slash! The blade slices through the demonic creature's flesh, and the monster recoils with a howl, releasing his grip on Lariel's throat. The angel falls back heavily on the rocks, his vitality ebbing, but his pride remains undiminished. He grips the sword, and with his last burst of strength plunges it into the rock. Grymstone senses that the vision is fading, the rush of thoughts diminishing like a river running dry. The last thing he hears is this: "You will kill me, monster. This I know. But one day, someone will come here and raise up my sword. They will raise it up and..." We get to choose what he says here. "They will raise it up and punish evildoers and traitors, or save and protect the innocent." And again, both of these fit so well with my picture of Grymstone. The hot-headed version of him is all about punishing the evildoers and the traitors, but the reformed version of him from his time with the priest of Cod Kalen would say save and protect the innocent. And I love this choice. It's such an interesting choice for me because the character that I've created, I feel like either of these answers could work. And the first time I made this choice, I really struggled to decide what he would say. But he strives to be a protector of the innocent. That is his goal. And so ultimately, that is what I picked in this moment. So save and protect the innocent. The vision disappears, vanishing in a burst of colors. Grymstone does not hear the final words, but he seems to complete the thought, taking it to heart. The words fly from his lips, and with them something else. The heat blazing in Grymstone's chest fades away. The edges of the scarlet wound close, leaving not even a scar behind. Looking down, Grymstone sees the flaming sword in his hand, or rather, its outline. The memory of what the sword looked like. With a final surge of warm and soothing light, the sword vanishes and the light is drawn into his hand. Grymstone senses that it will return. All he needs to do is call it.
Hey, are you all right? You were kinda glowing just now.
That was it. The light of heaven. But how?
What did you do with it? Where did it go?
I think I saw the memories of Lariel, the angel who died here.
L'Ariel? That really was L'Ariel? The angel from the legends. The ancestors even got his name right on the gravestone. The chief will be thrilled.
You. Thousands of gongs, and no one's been able to touch it. And now you, an ordinary creature of flesh and blood, no different to us, get the sword and start talking about visions.
Now, Winduag, don't be a sore loser. He is clearly different from us. The sword appeared before him, along with the angel's name and all that other stuff, because he doesn't carry our mongrel taint. Heaven doesn't give a damn how special we are. We're born with evil inside us. Heaven doesn't need to know any more than that.
I want you to remember this quote because I'm going to talk about it again here in a minute. This quote hinges one of the reasons that this story brings some serious emotions out in me. So remember this quote that Lan just said.
I know you're willing to tear anyone apart to uphold our people's honor, but you and some, you just refuse to face the truth. We are the way we are because our ancestors' bodies were corrupted by the abyss. It does the same thing to plants and animals. There's nothing heroic or special about it. It doesn't make us better, and it doesn't make us worthier.
So in this game, at certain points, you will have conversation options that will be related to mythic paths. Now, it's worth noting that if you use a mythic path conversation choice, that doesn't mean that you automatically are going down that path. Rather, what that does is it opens up that path at a later point in the game. So this is one of those conversation options where it's kind of forced on you. There are a few mythic paths that you will always have as an option, just so that when you get to that point in the game, you have some choices you can make. And then there are other mythic paths where you kind of have to find them to open up that option. But in this case, related to the Angel Mythic Path, it says, "It seems I can control it."
That is just... wow. I mean, that's amazing. Heaven has truly blessed you.
This power is the most majestic thing I've ever seen in all my life. Is this what the sun is like, Lan?
Yes, it's similar, but this light is more golden. Chief Soul needs to see this. Now that we have the power of angels on our side, he can't say no. He'll have to assemble a troop to storm the maze. You Uplanders care about your kids, right? Help us save ours. Without them, we won't survive. And then, the perils of the maze won't be so bad if we go together. We'll make our way through it and find the way to Kenabras.
Lead us to your chief, and I'll decide if I'm going to help you or not.
Let's go. We'll take the short route. Well, the only route, really.
And so we'll make a mobility check.
I hope you appreciate this.
Jump across. And really quick. So Lan is a mongrel. He is a monk Zen archer for his build. And then, oh, I forgot. His alignment. Oh, his alignment is lawful neutral. Winduag is neutral evil. And her class is just a straight up fighter, but with investments into archery feats. So both Lan and Winduag are archers, at least in present.
They will break against our resolve.
And here we see some giant spiders, which I'm going to label under the Nope category.
Out
You are today's sacrifice!
Alright. We do perfect strike, or we can do... Okay, we'll just fire some
Crossed
arrows.
the wrong mongrel. The mongrel did it.
Do not fear. Do not waver.
Okay. So,
You won't survive me.
I'll rip you apart.
Go for their heart!
now I will say that ranged combat is really, really effective in the opening dungeon. It does kind of make it a little too easy. But it's okay. This is just learning the rules anyways.
What's that there?
Picked up a wand of Cure Light Wounds. And here we can see a skeleton that was hidden unless you spun the map around. So I like the fact that you have to make good use of the map and the camera in order to find stuff in this game. But Sila has taken a little bit of damage. So we are going to heal her up.
Save the last one for me.
Alright. We've got Lan. Probably need to get him out from behind cover. I don't know. Yeah, we
Make
can
every
shoot.
strike count.
Oh, this is a surprise round. That's why I can't do as much. Wait, there's a centipede? There's a centipede. Okay. Alright. So we'll run Lan up here. And
You
take some
crossed the
shots.
wrong
There we
mongrel.
go. And apparently we've got more centipedes. I don't know where they're at, but we've got more of them. Aha!
Smear them.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
Okay. I want to check something real quick. Haven't found any shields yet. Okay. I am switching Grymstone over to melee since we've got 3 other archers. I guess 4 if you count Anivia, even though she's not officially a member of our party.
I'll bathe in your blood.
I like the spiders dropping down from the ceiling there.
They will break against our resolve.
No match for me.
Make way.
Okay, voice acting is apparently not on at the second. So, Winduag Winduag glances at Lan, who is fixing his slipped bowstring, and quickly walks over to you. Her cat-like eyes glow from beneath her hood. Listen here, you. I don't know who you are or where you come from, but you and I are the only two people who see things clearly. That's why I'm asking you, don't show the light of heaven to Sol. And I'm going to respond with, don't you want to save the kids lost in the maze? I want to, but I'm not going to risk the future of the tribe for the sake of a few stupid kids. Chief Sol is hesitant, and for good reason. He also understands how dangerous this is for the tribe. Lan's the only one who benefits from these childish games of heroism. I'll go alone if I have to and find them, or whatever's left of them, without any heroics, relying only on myself, risking only my life. You and your friends, you can come with me. Perhaps we can make it to the end of the maze together and find a way out to the surface. Lan is sure that I thought you considered the mongrels to be great warriors. The descendants of great warriors. I believe that my people are worthy of greatness, that we are strong and can do many things. That's why we were chased down here. We scared people. But it's one thing to go hunting in caves and another to fight in the shield maze. I've been there. I've spent my whole life training so I can make it through all the way to the end. There were more of us trackers at the start. We were young and stupid. What's a couple of monsters when there's a whole world out there waiting for us? That's what we thought, but we weren't prepared. The maze isn't just a physical challenge. It's cunning and full of traps. It's dark as the primordial night, and if you close your eyes and listen, you'll hear whispers right behind you and soft singing in the distance that seems to rise and fall with the beating of your heart. Winduag looks away. I had to learn from my friends' mistakes. I had to step over their bodies and go further. I don't want to have to do that again, and it will happen again if a crowd of ill-prepared fighters burst into the maze with no idea where they're going, all because Lan believes that a glowing sword will solve all our problems. Lan is sure that the light should be shown to the mongrels. Lan, Winduag grimaces. He wants to play the hero. His first idea, if you remember, was to grab the sword and run headlong into the maze. Does that sound like a plan to you? To me it sounds like suicide. The worst part is that the tribe might actually take his words to heart and follow where he leads. And lastly, I'll think about it. Let's go. Winduag nods. Don't show the chief the light, and I'll lead you through the maze to the surface. I swear it. Okay, so this doorway is going to take us into the mongrel camp. And so I'm actually going to stop this recording here. I'm going to talk a little bit about this choice and my thoughts on it as a storyteller. But this is actually where I have played to. I am not familiar with anything past this point. And so the next time I record, I'm actually going to be making this decision, and I'm going to be experiencing those consequences for the first time. But I do want to say, oh my gosh, I love the writing here. I have been struggling with this choice for several days. Ever since I did my first trial run playthrough, just, I'm trying out builds, I got to this choice, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. There are so many arguments on both sides of this, and both in character and out of character, I can see reasons to go both ways. Let me start with some of the out of character stuff first. So Lan, as I mentioned earlier, is a monk Zen archer. And monk Zen archer is one of the builds in Pathfinder 1st Edition that I never got to play, but that I wanted to play. And when I heard that one of my companions might have this build, I was super excited. So just on the build alone, Lan as a companion I was looking forward to. I'll admit, his voice acting I'm not the biggest fan of, but just the fact that he is using one of those builds that I've always been intrigued in first edition, that really speaks to me. Whereas Winduag is just a plain fighter. Yes, she builds for ranged combat, so she kind of fills the same role as Lan, but, you know, build-wise, Lan is very much more the character I would want to go with. Also, my character is chaotic good. And as we looked at before, Winduag is neutral evil. And from a role-playing perspective, my first instinct was, can I truly side with Winduag? She is an evil character. Wouldn't it make more sense that my character would side with the non-evil character, that I would side with Lan instead? And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this is not a clear-cut choice. So, for Lan, the positives in my character's mind would be that bringing the mongrels to the surface would be more people to help fight and save people inside the city. It's, it's a heroism trope, and my character is bullheaded, and so the idea of let's go get a bunch of people and charge into the battle and save the day is something he very much would want to do. And also, while my character is chaotic good, and he certainly is not above lying, by the same token, Winduag is asking him to actively lie, and I don't know that that's something he would immediately resort to. He's not cunning in that way. So, there's certainly an argument in favor of Lan, but on the flip side, the way they write Lan's character also really rubs my character the wrong way. Like, when I try to get into my character's headspace, Lan talks about a prophecy that he's trying to fulfill, and he is willing to guide his entire tribe on the basis of this almost religious zealotry. And you may remember that my character's backstory that I made for him, Grymstone started his adventuring path when he clashed with an overzealous priest. And though Grymstone is religious, he also is very hesitant about very lawful and very domineering versions of religion, and it is obvious that that is the kind of religion that Lan has in this story, and so Grymstone would naturally be very hesitant just because Lan has a kind of approach to religion that is very grating to him. And the other thing, and you may remember, I told you to remember a comment from Lan earlier. Lan speaks about the mongrels as though they are inherently evil. And that is just anathema to the way I picture Grymstone's mentality. And so when Lan went on that long spiel about, oh, we were born evil, and heaven knows we're evil, and heaven's not going to bless us because of all of the evil that's inside of us, that comment just struck me the wrong way, and that is something that the character of Grymstone, as I imagine him, would just hate that. He would not respect that mentality at all. On the flip side, Winduag, in presenting this choice to lie, she says, the tribe is not prepared for the fight. I still want to rescue the children, and we can go and rescue the children, but let's go in ourselves and not put other people in unnecessary risk. And that argument is very appealing to the way Grymstone would think. But Winduag is neutral evil, and from a meta perspective, kind of stepping out big picture again, like, I really think she's trying to manipulate me and pull one over on me. Like, I feel like she's got some ulterior motives in not wanting Lan and the rest of the tribe to join us in the maze. I feel like she's scheming in some fashion. She's presenting herself as, hey, let's go and try and save these kids. But I think she has an ulterior motive. But the metagaming, I guess you will, I don't think Grymstone would think that way. He would just hear, the tribe's not ready for the fight, but we can still go save the kids. And I feel like Grymstone would very likely, like, if she is trying to manipulate him, I feel like he would fall for that. And so I have found myself in this very incredible struggle. I have gone back and forth on this choice so much in the last couple of days, thinking about, am I going to side with Lan and show the sword to the chief? Or am I going to side with Winduag and not show the sword to the chief? And I didn't have quite as much recording time today as I thought I would, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. But I just want to applaud the writers from Paizo and Owlcat, because they have presented a very nuanced choice, and I am playing a game where I am playing a very good character, and yet there's a very real possibility I might side with the evil character because of how this choice is written, and that is just excellent writing to me. So anyways, going to go ahead and finish up this video for the day. But really quick, if you've stuck with me this whole time, do all of the YouTube stuff. Like the video if you enjoyed it, share the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some comments, let me know what your thoughts about this decision are, and we will certainly see where it goes. And also, I do just want to say really quick, shout out to Paizo Publishing and Owlcat Games. Definitely go and check out their work, because I am loving the story. I'm not very far in, and I am having a great time. So definitely go and check them out and check out the things that they have to offer, because I am having a ton of fun. But thank you all so much for being here, and have a wonderful day.